Start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, and text number 33. Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varnam Ravikara Gaura Vara Ambaram Dadhane Vapuralaka Kula Vrutananambujam Vijaya Sake Ratir Astume Navadya. One more time. Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varnam Ravikara Gaura Vara Ambaram Dadane Vapur Alaka Kulavruta Nanam Jam Vijaya Sake Ratir Astume Navadya. What meaning? Tribhuvana, three statuses of planetary systems. Kamanam, the most desirable. Tamala Varnam, bluish like the tamal tree. Ravikara, sun rays. Gaura, golden color. Varambharam, glittering dress. Dadhane, one who wears. Vapuhu, body. Alaka Kula Avruta, covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp. Anana Abjam, face like lotus. Vijaya Sakhe, unto the friend of Arjuna. Rati Astu, may attraction be reposed upon him. Me, my, Anavadya, without desire for fruity results. Translation. Sri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of tamal tree. His body attracts everyone in the three planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face, covered with the paintings of sandalwood pulp, be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruity results. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When Sri Krishna, by his own internal pleasure, appears on earth, he does so by the agency of his internal potency. The attractive features of his transcendental body are desired in all the three worlds, namely the upper, middle, and the lower planetary systems. Nowhere in the universe are there such beautiful bodily features as those of Lord Krishna. Therefore, his transcendental body has nothing to do with anything materially created. Arjuna is described here as the conqueror, and Krishna is described as the intimate friend. Bhismadev, on his bed of arrows after the battle of Kurukshetra, is remembering the particular dress of Lord Krishna which he put on as a driver of Arjuna's chariot. While fighting was going on between Arjuna and Bhishma's attraction was drawn by the glittering dress of Krishna, and indirectly he admired his so-called enemy Arjuna for possessing the Lord as his friend. Arjuna was always a conqueror because the Lord was his friend. Bhismadev takes this opportunity to address the Lord as Vijaya Sakhe, friend of Arjuna, because the Lord is pleased when he is addressed conjointly with his devotees, who are related with him in different transcendental humors. While Krishna was the charioteer of Arjuna, sun rays glittering on the dress of the Lord and the beautiful hue created by the reflection of such rays was never forgotten by Bhismadev. As a great fighter, he was relishing the relation of Krishna in chivalrous humor. Transcendental relation with the Lord in any one of the different rasas, humors, is relishable by the respective devotees in the highest ecstasy. Less intelligent mundaners who want to make a show of being transcendentally related with the Lord artificially jump at once to the relation of the conjugal love, imitating the damsels of Brajadham. Such a cheap relation with the Lord exhibits only the base mentality of the mundaner, because one has relished conjugal humor with the Lord cannot be attached to the worldly conjugal rasa, which is condemned even by the mundane ethics. The eternal relation of a particular soul with the Lord is evolved. A genuine relation of the living being with Supreme Lord can take any form out of the five principal rasas. And it does not make any difference in transcendental degree to the genuine devotee. Bhishmadev is a concrete example of this, and it should be carefully observed how the great general is transcendentally related with the Lord. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Shri Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarade Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivas Adi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Lamkayate Grim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Pancha Kalpatrubhyascha Pasindubhyascha Patita Nama Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam class every day. Today is the second day, I think the third day of Karthik. Very auspicious to be in the association of devotees, especially in reading Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the only thing we can do in our lives, the devotional service, because we have dealt with the material world millions and millions of years, which we don't know. And finally, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we are here in the association of devotees, reading Bhagavatam in the early morning hours, that too in the month of Damodar. And thank you for giving opportunity to speak something from my realization, and as well as Srimad Bhagavatam purport of Srila Prabhupada. Please pray so that I can speak, and then I seek all the blessings of Vaishnavas so that I can, for my purification as well. Hare Krishna. So I have no words because every devotee every day has many realizations, many explanations of Srimad Bhagavatam on this particular prayers of Bhismadev's passing away, the chapter. It's very touching, and the questions and answers, discussions, that's actually giving us the hope every day. I don't understand much, but I'll just listen at least, and I'll say something. So one point of time I was thinking that what we need is this association, and just hear Srimad Bhagavatam, hear Krishna Katha. That's all we need. Whether you understand the word jugglery, you understand the explanation, understand. Of course, it's important to understand, to have a knowledge so that we can better serve Krishna. But our intention is to just hear with the rapt attention. Intention is the rapt attention of hearing Krishna Katha. That will itself is purifying our hearts. That's what it's taking us all the way to remember Krishna at the time of death, which is Ante Narayana Smriti, which many devotees explain and mention about this. So I'm also trying to see whether, I'll be in that Sangha of devotees where the attraction to the lordships will happen. We are all doing seva and intent, sending an application to Krishna that, we are on the path. We just applied for it. We haven't bought the ticket yet, but, in the due course of time, we might get a ticket. But when is not a question, but just with the hope, just keep the pace and hope and the faith. Faith is most important to proceed in our Krishna consciousness. So saying that, I'll speak something, what I understood from this verse. Srila Prabhupada starts with the translation that Sri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. So it was difficult to understand because with my limited knowledge, the prayers of Bhismadev, they are not ordinary. Why? Because realizations can have that kind of that level of realizations only happens to the devotees like Bhismadev. He is getting attracted to a dress of Krishna during his passing away time. What do I remember? I have no idea. So we can remember, the only every day I remember when I joined ISKCON was, that kirtan is very nice. Some people are getting attracted to the dress of Krishna, deities of Krishna, the decoration, what is there in the altar of Krishna. Some people are attracted to the kirtan of Krishna. Some people are attracted to the prasadam of Krishna. So I'm the category of attracted by the prasadam. I don't have the deep realization of what Bhismadev was talking about. So I'll just repeat on what Prabhupada says here. It's not easy to understand that kind of realization as well, unless there is a explanation from our acharyas and spiritual master. So this prayer started from yesterday, which is 32, verse number 32, and it goes all the way to 43, I believe. And we call as Bhishma Stuti. Like we had Kunti Stuti, we have Bhishma Stuti, we have Dhruva Stuti, we have Gajendra Stuti, and we have Prahalada Stuti. And this is the stuti of Bhishma's prayers at the time of death. And Bhishma, he is such an elevated soul that he was associated with Krishna for maybe over 100 years. In our lifetime, we are associated with the devotees of Krishna only certain time. But think about Bhishmadev was associated with Krishna for 100 years, more than 100 years probably. And out of all, what is he attracted to? The feature, the transcendental body, the dress of Krishna, which resembles the bluish color of tamal tree. I did not know why Prabhupada gave a name to his personal secretary, Tamal Krishna Goswami. After reading this verse, I understand, oh, Tamala means bluish. Tamal Krishna is bluish. In the pastime of Krishna's Vrindavan, Aristasur came because, Aristasur was sent by Kamsa to kill Krishna. Aristasur entered the Vrindavan with this roaring sound, and the way he was running with the steps, big cow. That is such a demon. And all the Vrindavan Vasis were terrified. They don't know what to do. They were all just screaming, saying, Krishna, please help me. And some of the gopis went and hugged the tamal trees. And they were satisfied and they were out of fear, it seems. Because they were looking at tamal tree, the bluish color. The tamal tree had a bluish color. And so they went and hugged the tamal tree, thinking that that is Krishna. See their consciousness. So these kind of explanations, it's not that easy to understand unless it is being revealed by our acharyas. And on the top of it, who has written all this? Srila Vyasadeva. Millions of years, there are people working, reading scriptures. We don't even know whether they're reading the scriptures or not, but because of Vyasadeva, which was the scriptures, what he has written over 5,000 years ago, he had written, and we are all relishing that today. And he is telling that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That one word, Supreme Personality, we did not know. And somebody says Krishna is the Supreme Personality, how do you know? Then we always refer, it is from the scriptures, from the Vedic scriptures, and it is from, because Srila Vyasadeva has quoted this, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He himself is an incarnation of, literary incarnation of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is literary incarnation of Krishna. In that way, they are actually saying, when the people like, when the devotees like, the acharyas like Vyasadeva says something, that's a statement, it has to be considered. That Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So how many of us understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead after coming to ISKCON? Before that, we don't even know. We had many gods. Of course, there are many gods in the temples. We don't even know. We go and offer obeisances to every god. And who is the origin? We don't even know. But by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we are understanding. So earlier we had a demon. There were many demons who are trying to kill Krishna. And then there were many like, Duryodhana, there are so many people who are associated with Krishna, but they did not understand that Krishna is great, is the supreme. And that was 5,000 years ago. But now, in spite of, many scriptures that declaring that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and Bhagavad Gita himself, it says, Krishna himself says that I am the supreme God. Nobody will understand that part. They don't even want to accept that. So we need to accept what Acharyas say, and then if you follow, then the revelations will happen. So revelations will not happen just like that to everyone. Lord Chaitanya, when he came, he associated with so many devotees, and he used to be going around all over India, but he did not reveal the secret to everyone. He used to chant Hare Krishna, and he would do, a little bit of preaching of body or not the body or the soul, but he revealed the intimate pastimes of Krishna to only certain devotees, only where we had only intimate relationship with only few devotees, like especially the Goswamis. So what is that understand? What we need to understand is, it is not easy to easy for a revelation. That means it's not that easy. But even Krishna wants to tell somebody, he can only tell to the people who are pure in heart. How do you get heart purified, consciousness purified? Is by Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So Cheto Darpana Marjan, by devotion service, cleaning our heart, by everyday chanting Hare Krishna, that is the cleansing process. Then Krishna will reveal in our hearts that what he is. Otherwise, it's not that easy to understand what Krishna is. When Christians met Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada said, follow and take the Bible literally. It's very important. Follow the religion. So in fact, Prabhupada said that the Bible is very important. And even like Lord Jesus Christ and Muhammad Prophet, they both were the empowered living beings and who discussed about Krishna, about the God, right? Not God, Krishna, but God. So the revelations can happen only through the empowered living beings, not everyone. So the qualification, what kind of qualification we have to understand, because we are understanding only the external features, looking at the deities. For us to understand the deities dresses, oh, it is Krishna, this is the form of Krishna. Even though you look at the deity form of Krishna, we may not understand what Krishna is, right? So we may think that this color is not right, that the cheddar is not fixed properly, this flute is this way, that way, this way. We are looking only the problem, what is not right in the deities pictures, deities, but we don't understand looking at what Krishna is. That is our consciousness. So in order to get the pure consciousness, Cheto Darpana Marjanam is very, very important. The pure love, we should be very, very pure to understand. And then have that love of Krishna, then only we can understand Krishna. But Bhismadev can understand what Krishna is. In the previous verses of the 19, verse number 19, it says, O King, Lord Shiva, Narada, and the great and the sage amongst the demigods, the Kapila, the incarnation of God, all know very confidentially about these glories through the direct contact. So how many people know Krishna, understand Krishna, and glorify Krishna? Pure devotees of the Lord are all Buddhas, are persons who knows the glories of the Lord in different transcendental loving services. As the Lord has innumerable expansion in his plenary form, there are innumerable pure devotees of the Lord who are engaged in the exchange of the service of the different humors. Ordinarily, there are 12 great devotees of the Lord, namely Brahma, Narada, Shiva, Kumara, Kapila, Manu, Prahlada, Bhishma, Janaka, Shukadev Goswami, Bali Maharaj and Maharaj. Bhismadev, although one of them has mentioned only 3 important names of the 12 who knows the glories of the Lord. See, from the statement of Srimad Bhagavatam, only the pure devotees can understand Krishna. So we are not that qualified to understand Krishna. So that is what we need to understand. Now he says, how I'll go, it's already time, but maybe I'll just go a little bit. Since our heart is defective, we need to cleanse our hearts. Then we'll understand with the transcendental knowledge of Krishna. We need to have a mood of submission to understand the Krishna point, understand the knowledge of Krishna. So now he's addressing here as the Vijaya Sakhe. Krishna, he prefers his name instead of calling Krishna. He prefers in the relationship with someone. Like Yashoda Nandana, Nandanandana, Gopi Jana Vallabha. That is the pleasure giving to the devotees. Radhika Ramana. So Krishna likes in that way when we call. Now he is, Prabhupada is telling he is a Vijaya Sakhe, the friend of Krishna. In further, he is telling, Prabhupada is purport is as a great fighter, he was relishing the relation of Krishna in the chivalrous mood. There are many rasas, around 12 rasas, and out of which there are 5 primary rasas and 7 secondary rasas. The 5 primary rasas are Shantarasa, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. Prabhupada explains that what Shantaras is, different rasas, neutrality, servitorship. He says, one of them, the explanation what he gives is, let me read from his purport here. Give me 1 minute. So the different rasas, how we are connected with Krishna, in what way we were connected with rasa. So when that is advanced, it starts about, it becomes, where am I talking about? Krishna is the reservoir of all rasas. Rasa is a very peculiar word, rasa. It may be translated into English as taste, as mellow, or as a humor. So our relationship with Krishna, there is some taste. Without taste, we cannot continue our relationship with anyone. There must be some taste. So these rasas or taste are 12 kinds. Primary rasa is the relationship between the inner things and just like I am sitting on his chair, so the comfort I am feeling, that is the rasa, taste. We want very nice cushion sitting position, so that tasting that I am now comfortably seated. This is called Shantarasa. Then above the Shantarasa, there is the Dasya Rasa. And after, just like Dasya, my students, my disciples, they want to serve me and I want to take service from them. This is also called an exchange of rasa. This are all talking about Prabhupada, right? And Santya, Dasya. And now, similarly, the next advanced stage is Sakya, means friendship. Just like one is serving somebody, but if that service is very intimate, then there is a rasa of friendship. Dasya, Dasa, Sakya, and advanced. When that is advanced, it becomes Vatsalya. Vatsalya rasa means the taste of relationship between the parents and the children. These are advanced. Shantarasa, Dasya rasa, Sakya rasa, and then Vatsalya rasa, parenthood, filial love. And above this, there is a Madhurya Rasa. Madhurya Rasa means the taste between the husband and wife, lover and the beloved. And that is called Madhurya Rasa. Similarly, these are the primary rasas. There are secondary rasas also, which of one is the compassion, comedy, chivalry, ghastliness, wonder. And now Bhishma, just like Bhishma, was enjoying the chivalry rasas when he decided that this day I must kill Arjuna. Either Krishna will have to break his promise. Krishna promised that he would not take any weapon in the battle. He should remain neutral, because those sides, they were relatives. So it is not good to take part partially in one party and neglect other. Of course, it was divided. Krishna divided himself, his soldiers, one side, and Krishna, one side. He said, Duryodhana and Arjuna, that I shall remain neutral, but I'm dividing my strength in this way. One side, I am, and one side, my soldiers. So Duryodhana thought that, what shall I do with Krishna? Better take these two soldiers. So he took the soldiers in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. But Arjuna said, I want you. So these are the different rasas. And in the summary, so genuine relationship with the living being with the Supreme Lord can take any form out of the 5 principal rasas, and it does not take any difference in transcendental degree to the genuine devotee. And the Bhismadev is a concrete example of this, and it should be carefully observed that how the great general is transcendentally related with the Lord. So every one of us is connected and have that taste with Krishna, but we don't understand right now. By our pure devotion service, once our consciousness is purified, our heart is purified, Krishna will reveal our heart in what way we can serve Krishna. And so this is what important, but our intention and summary of this verse is to purify our consciousness. Then only we can understand Krishna. I think I will stop. It's more than the time what I was supposed to. So thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. If anybody has any questions, comments, please go ahead. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much.
Prasad Prabhu.
Hari Prabhu.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for the wonderful class and for putting things in perspective, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Because this verse, thinking that I'm not at all qualified to understand this verse. So, who can reveal? Krishna can reveal with our one way if you have that pure consciousness. So otherwise, we'll be everywhere thinking, I know this, I know that. It's just like the people in India when we take the Bhagavad Gita, oh, I know Bhagavad Gita. So that's all. That's our consciousness. So, but I don't know anything. So
very nicely articulated, Prabhu. What really strikes me also is this, even at this juncture, the intensity of affection between the two, with so much reciprocity, right? I mean, you would think Krishna was taking arrow after arrow after arrow, not from any ordinary person, but from, a severe warrior like Bhismadev. And that too, Bhismadev was on the opposite side, in spite of everything that Krishna was trying to do for the Pandavas. And the Pandavas were being unjustly treated. Bhismadev took the side of the Kurus for all the various reasons. And so Krishna could very well have spited him, right? But no, Krishna was taking those arrows, even though, I mean, he's completely spiritual. Obviously, there was no pain that he had experienced. But at the same time, he could have held it against Bhishmadev. He did not. Instead, he was so, involved and so, what should I say, engaged and attracted to Bhismadev, being his, his devotee, and the rasa that was experienced, right, between the two. And on the other hand, Bhishmadev, he knew that he was doing the wrong thing, meaning he was on the other side. He was fighting his own worshipable Lord. And at the same time, he was also admiring Krishna's prowess. He was enjoying that engagement, that loving exchange. It was more a loving exchange than an act of war, between the two. So that is so bewildering for, in one sense. But on the other hand, when you start thinking about it and getting deeper into it, it becomes even more beautiful and so nice to, it's so relishing in terms of how you see this relationship between Bhishmadev and Krishna. And Krishna is there when he is giving up his body. He could have very well have said, hey, I'm not going to come and see your face. You did this. I'm walking away. No, but Krishna was there, and not only there, but he actually helped. He was glorifying his devotee and gave him the chance to speak the words that he did. So it's just amazing. It's incredible. The relationship when you see this rasa between these two, between Krishna and between Bhishmadev.
Now, I was thinking, to understand the direct and the indirect rasas. In the indirect rasa of chivalry, there is so much nectar. What will be the primary rasas? What will be the nectar of the primary rasas, if you understand, right, Prabhu? But we don't even, of course, we don't have that knowledge. Because of Acharya's explaining, we are getting a little bit of glimpse. In what way this month of Yashoda Nandana, oh my God, just hear the pastime of Yashoda, Mother Yashoda and Krishna is enchanting, right? Very attractive. Just hearing the pastime itself is very attractive. What will be the relationship? How do I understand? Like, mother and son, children, that is true. But Krishna as a son of Mother Yashoda, what will be that relationship?
It's unimaginable. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for bringing up this.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else want to share their?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad pranam. I'll go Srila Prabhupada.
You go.
Prabhuji, small question. If you want to share any realization or anything like that. Thinking, where you, in the early part of the lecture, by the way, you beautifully covered so many nice topics. Thank you so much for that. Earlier, you said, unless Krishna reveals himself, we wouldn't know him, right? Now, it seems like there's an endeavor from our side to understand Krishna. There's also this aspect of how Krishna has to reveal himself for us to understand him, right? Now, all through that also, we have doubts sometimes, as conditioned souls, we have doubts or whatnot that come into our mind, right? Because the whole world is going in one direction, we are trying to go in a different direction. So I feel that as devotees, there's a lot of battle between understanding Krishna, understanding how he interacts with his devotees, and also at the same time how I'm trying to put my thought together. Sorry, it's a little bit all over the place. But how do we see that? How do we see Krishna in our day-to-day life? That he is willing to help us understand him. If you get my point.
I think it's a very, very nice point you're bringing up. So for me, maybe a little bit deeper. First of all, what we understand, God is the order supplier. Every day, on a day-to-day basis, when we come in front of Krishna, Krishna, I want this, Krishna, I want this, Krishna, I want this. Please satisfy. So we were thinking that Krishna is great, he's supreme somewhere. And then the next point is, yes, he has a storehouse of everything. So we'll go ask him Krishna. Krishna will give us, provide us everything. And that's one understanding of Krishna, revelation, right? The other understanding, and that another, after a few days, slowly we'll get there. Oh, a fear of Krishna. Oh, if I do something, then Krishna will not be happy. And after some time, we will say, we are slowly, what happens is our consciousness, instead of taking, the taking becomes giving. So think about the taking and giving is how long it takes us to understand, right? The giving, the serving mode, nobody is willing to do that. How many people are willing to serve outside? Everybody is ready to take it, but not anybody is willing to give it. So our consciousness has to change from the taking to giving. Then Krishna reveals in our hearts, right? In that way, that means once you start serving Krishna, you are everything Krishna. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he did not reveal to everyone. Just chant Hare Krishna. How many people he revealed? Only with a few devotees. The intimate relation, understanding of Krishna. In the day-to-day world, how do I know that Krishna is there? Yes, Krishna is there because I have a hope. I have understood from others. I have understood from the acharyas. I have understood from scriptures, from the spiritual master. They're all telling it is there. You don't have to do another research again. You don't have to discover. You don't have to do any other research again. Just follow the footsteps of Acharya. It will come in place. It might, just like for Narada, he just a little bit as a Paramatma in his heart, he showed up and he just closed it. It never showed up again. So like that, glimpses will be shown to us initially and we'll get attracted very much. And we have to be willing to get more and more and more. And Aniyor, that's the work. And it will never show up Krishna. Krishna will never show up that. But Krishna, if we keep asking, give me this, give me that, give me this, and then the tribulation comes in. Why is that tribulation? We are thinking many times that, I'm sorry, I'm taking a long time, but to make us understand. I was in a small apartment when I came to this world, America. How much salary I was getting earlier? What is the apartment I was getting? We're staying. Now today, I have a big house. I have this, I have that. I have a big DT room. Did Krishna tell you, Prabhupada says, simple living, high thinking. And we are telling we don't want tribulations, correct? So, but if you just stay like this every day, then you are almost there in the comfort zone and we will forget Krishna. And for Krishna has to give the tribulations to understand, hey, this is not your real world. Get out of here. So see our consciousness where we are. You know what I'm talking about? So revelation will come only when we understand. The purification process is a big thing. Unless we purify ourselves, Krishna won't reveal to us. Krishna can reveal through someone also. That is our spiritual master. That is our other devotees. They are revealing, but we are not understanding that part. He is every day revealing in one aspect. Everyday realizations, that is another aspect. You see, that are revealing in everybody's heart, but we don't get it. That's why we need to accept. Acceptance is most important. He is giving every day, but we are not accepting it. So once you accept, that itself is a revelation. This is my 2-cent thought, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I think that was a very beautiful explanation. A lot to meditate on, but I think the way you said how we start in Krishna consciousness and how our consciousness slowly changes. I think you beautifully put it, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Yes,
thank you, Prabhuji.
Mm-hmm.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Dandavat Pranam.
Please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev. Prabhu, when you were explaining this answer, you said that all we need to do is accept. So what do we need to accept?
See, anything, first of all, I started the lecture, started the class with Vyasadev has written the scriptures. But how many people accepted it? Even in spite of, they don't accept it. Even when Krishna, when Lord Jesus Christ says, "Thou shalt not kill," how many people accept it? As a Christian, how many people accept it? They don't follow. You understand what I mean? So that means whatever Krishna says in the scriptures, take that acceptance. Every day in our tribulations, whatever it matters, if from the scriptures all the way to day-to-day life, whatever comes in our life, just accept it. And think that Krishna's hand is there in our heart. For Krishna's, the moment when you say, Krishna, you are everything for me, Krishna will never, ever forget you. He will always be there with you. And he will start guiding you. So the whole scriptures, Vedic scriptures from Vyasadeva, the Vedic scriptures, not only scriptures, the Srila Prabhupada's purports, what is it telling us is actually guiding us to go back and take the step, go back to Krishna. So what I mean to say is accept in every point, every step, whether the spiritual master says, whether a devotee says, when the scripture says, and whatever comes in life, just accept and keep going. Otherwise, we don't understand. What will happen otherwise? We don't accept, we will make somebody accept us. So what is that again? I am lording over the material nature. That's our principle, right? So when does our consciousness come into a way of accepting us? Instead of telling it's me alone, everything me. So that the ego has to go with the true ego. That means Krishna is everything. Gopi Bharta Pada Kamalayor Dasa Dasa Dasa. That consciousness has to come. Then we'll accept in our day-to-day life too. If somebody says something, how quickly we can accept? When children is bad, mother says something to the child, will they accept immediately? No. It will take some time for them to accept. So every day. So how, think about a children not even understanding what mother says, how we can understand as a grown-up, how can we understand? But we have our own stuff, we have our own nature. So the acceptance part has to come. Then the revelation comes too. That's my understanding.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. I think we are gone more than the time. Sorry. Anybody else? Otherwise, we'll stop. I think Savyasachi Prabhu's hand is. Go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, very nicely explained the classification of rasas and the nectar in the secondary and how can we imagine the nectar in the primary. And you were talking about Krishna not being the supplier. I was thinking that not in a business-like sense, but Krishna actually is a customer, how we try to satisfy the customer and have a customer obsession to be successful. So
customer satisfaction.
Yes. Yeah. So probably one question, you mentioned Jesus Christ mentioned God, but not by the name of Krishna. And I was reflecting on that always throughout my life, that all the religions that came with a beautiful message, if they had just cross-referenced or, okay, yes, Jesus Christ could name Krishna, yeah, I'm son of God. 3,000 years ago, he came as Krishna. And by the way, I'm now going to talk about, according to the time, place, circumstance, the message that was relevant at that time. So same thing, the absence of cross-reference, I was wondering, is having different religions, having different understanding of God, causing a lot of conflict in this world. So what could have helped that situation? Like a cross-reference, would that help, or could there be another solution? Because I'm worried about future generations living in so much polarization in this world.
It is very tough, Prabhu, because the Kali Yuga is advancing. So that's what to understand. But one thing from Lord Chaitanya, one promise is another 10,000 years. It'll be a golden age. And every town and village will be chanting Hare Krishna. So that is our hope. I know whether this dharma, that religion, that religion, end of the day, we will, people will start following anyway. But that doesn't mean that you have to be, you convert from one to other one. No, Prabhupada says just follow your religion. That is most important. But as long as they follow, they will, Krishna will, God will reveal them as well, right? So, but for us, Cheto Darpana Marjanam will happen only when we are in the movement of Lord Chaitanya and follow these principles, rules and regulations of what Acharya said. Then everything will be all right. Even the Lord also said the same thing. Follow the rules. If they don't follow, then he was talking to the uncivilized people. But for us, not only uncivilized, civilized also, we were not, even though we are civilized, we don't understand. Correct?
Yes.
So where is our consciousness? That is what revelation is again. Not just uncivilized or civilized. In spite of civilized, how much we understand. Yes, Prabhu.
Sure. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. I know it's very late, but I just wanted to, regarding Sabyasachi Prabhu's question, I mean, at least we owe it to Srila Prabhupada, the understanding, that God is one. I mean, he said, Jesus is son of God, he is son of Krishna. And then Islam is worshipping the impersonal Brahman. These are very powerful teachings Srila Prabhupada gave, and there is, I mean, it makes that so clear for us. Hopefully, I mean, the other side understanding that clearly, I don't know if they're trying to understand the oneness of God and all religions is speaking about. I wish they all try to understand. And I wish they all understood the word karma. Then, as Rampa Swami Maharaj narrates every time, like just now, Balaram Prasad Prabhu also said, the Christians believe you have dominion over all animals and all created beings. Then Rampa Swami Maharaj remembers his conversation. I mean, how he countered this question from his parents. He said, I was a young child. You had dominion over me. Does it mean it is one? Dominion means one of protection and care, or what does it mean? So I mean, it always brings to my mind that conversation. I mean, I am so happy that Srila Prabhupada gave this very clear description of what other religions are about. And then Rampa Swami Maharaj further illustrated what is that dominion over all creation mean for the human. I just wanted to remember these things. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much for that. Hare Krishna. I think we'll stop here, Prabhu, 8 o'clock. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you to all the devotees. Thanks for all your patience. We'll stop, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Somebody